for reasons outside of fighting. You have Vicente Luque versus Ian Machado Garry. That's kicking the main card off. That's how good this card is. And that fight, I probably have more excitement for than any other fight on that card. It's just a fork in the road for Ian Machado Garry, this prospect who is a once in a generational talent, and he's fighting, a tough guy, Vicente Luque. They used to be training partners. There's so much drama going into this fight. And I think if Ian Machado Garry can weather this insane shitstorm that he's dealing with in his personal life, and then it feels like the entire fight community is against this guy. For me, this is the one that I star on this main card, because if Ian Machado Garry can weather this storm and get a highlight reel knockout over Vicente Luque, we will remember this moment as he goes on to be world champion. This will be the fight that was the make it or break it moment in this young fighter's career. And there is so much pressure on him. There's so much pressure. There's so much noise. And if he can somehow pull this off, which I think he does, if he can pull this off, ignore all the crap going on in his personal life and all the hate that he's been getting, it's gotten so bad he had to turn comments off, which is usually a bad sign. But again, I don't think he's running his stuff. But regardless, I think if he can just somehow get over the hump and do what he does best, which is fighting inside that octagon, and if he can get a knockout, which I think he does, over Vicente Luque, it's going to propel him to levels that he couldn't even imagine. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I do this show. That's why I continue to support the UFC. This is for these exact moments. It's the guys' come-ups that I love. It's what keeps me involved in the sport. It's what I get most excited for. Once the guys have made it, like a Leon Edwards or Colby Covington, once these guys are good, I enjoy watching greatness. But to me, it's the come up, the Conor McGregor come up. If you remember those days, they're so special. There's nothing like it in sports. It's what makes the UFC the best. And Ian Machado Garry he's that guy. He has the chance to pull that off Saturday night. And I do think he gets it done. Now, if he goes in there and gets absolutely starched by Vicente Luque and looks like a shell of himself, he's not the guy. And somebody else would come eventually, but it would be a sad day in the fight world if Ian Machado Garry let this get to him and let all the noise and the social media and all this visceral hate get to him and not show up. I don't see that happening in any facet. I think Ian Machado was built for this, and I think people that are talking smack to Ian, you're going to fuck around and find out Saturday night. And I think he wins in convincing fashion, and it's going to be just a moment we check in Ian Machado Garry's career, and he's going to go on to do great things. And it starts Saturday night. Nothing that he's done is bigger than Saturday night, and he has a damn tough opponent, but he has the perfect opponent. A, they've trained together, so he knows his tricks. B, Vicente Luque, he's never been in a fight where he doesn't get hit. Now, the issue with that, and he'll pull it off, he'll win, but the issue with that is when you're fighting a sniper like Machado Garry, you can't afford to get hit. And that's just, it's in Vicente Luque's DNA. That's why we absolutely love this guy. He's an exciting fighter. He went on that crazy run where won 4 in a row. And then he got Muhammad, and that's how good Belal Muhammad is. Belal beat him, and then he lost to Jeff Neal. He got knocked out by Neal, which is a big win for Neal. And then he did work against Dos Anjos for 5 rounds. But again, his type of fighting where, he'll bite down that mouthpiece and via Cody Garbrandt, but with a much better chin, that is absolute trouble for Vicente Luque in his camp against a sniper and Machado Garry. And you guys can tell how high I am on Machado Garry. If I had to bet on anyone be champ in the next 18 months, it's Garry. And he has such a big moment where, with all this noise going on in his life, he can silence everybody with a straight freaking head kick or a straight left or a straight right or a hook, a killer Francis Ngannou via Alistair Overeem knockout. He can get that done, man, with a sick uppercut, and it silences everything, and then it's just a thing of the past. People are just like, oh damn, that's crazy. Some people still bring up, but as Al Davis said for the Raiders, just win, baby. It takes care of everything, and I'd love to see him shut everybody up. Feels like the world is against him. When everyone's against this, especially when it has nothing to do with fighting, when everybody's against somebody, that's who I root for. I'm like, oh, you guys suck, man. Everyone's piling on them and, oh, this, and you suck, your wife, cuck this. When everyone's going that way, I want to go this way. So I've never rooted harder for someone than Ian Garry.